Good morning, guys. Today we'll be doing lab assessment 6 and lab assessment 7 together in one practical because they're creating objects in Json and Json arrays, and then encoding and decoding, which can be both done together, right? So we'll go to file. So link down below, I have a jar file that you need to download. It is only 23 KB ish, and you can download that. Just name it Json. Really easy. You get this. Don't create this module. You'll get this. Now here you have to go in here. Okay, so you go to local disk C, uses PC, Eclipse workspace, JSON. You'll see this. Now new folder this, call it lib, and enter and paste your jar file there. You'll do this. Then if you, I think so, refresh, it should show up as lib here. So you have got the lib. Now you go to src, you create a new class, right? A new class in the src, and just call it JSON again. Who cares? I mean, yes. And then you just do this, and thus you have your JSON file. Now to do this, what do? Is you go to okay. Now before doing anything else, you go to this JSON. You write, okay. So this is pretty important. So you add external jars. So you add the JSON.jar file in your build path. So build path, you go here, you go to configure build path, you click class path, and then you add jars. And JSON, you add lib and JSON jar and OK, and then you apply, and then you apply and close. That's it. Now what do? Is you create a JSON object, right? Obj equals new JSON object, right? JSON object. Whew. So you create that, you click on it, you import this guy. Do not write import this and then write this. This gives a lot of errors, and I've seen it. I've had my fair share. I've been doing the same thing for the whole night, and it just wasn't importing, or it was just detecting it. So you create traits, which is your new JSON arrays, control space. Okay, so if you create, and then you'll get this thing, you add it. Now you have added it. Now what do? Now you just make. So let's say there is a function which is obj, is our object dot, we have our put function, not out, put. So put function, and then it gets 2 arguments, right? It will take 2 arguments, and let's say its name, and the name is, let's say, Ram Singh, right? Then we have his age. Let's say he is 28 years young. So 28 age, and 28, and obj dot put, and his salary, let's say salary is, let's say, 450, right? 4,50,000. So that is his salary. Now we have that. Now if we want to see how our object looks, the out.print and obj, and if we run it, right, so we'll have our output. This is how it looks, right? This is how our object looks, a simple JSON object. Now we also want to create JSON arrays, right? So we'll just do traits dot not put add. So what do you want to add? Let's say I want to add Ram Singh is confident, right? Confident. So you add confident in it, right? Then what else do you add? So Ram Singh is also young, right? Ram Singh is young. Then traits dot add, he is also smart, right? Yes, right? Ram Singh is now let's obj, let's do this, and system dot out dot print traits, right? And let's execute this. Yes, so you see there is this. So if I were to do println and do this, so you'll see that in the first one we have our JSON object, and this is our JSON array, which is like a list of Python, right? Yeah, so it's like a list. It's like list in Java, Python, etc., right? So that is our thing. You can also do this obj dot put, let's say qualities, and you can add traits, right? And just do println and system dot out dot print, and let's call it obj. And now if you run it, so you see here it was the simple object, this is a simple array, and this is a compound object. Yes, so this is a compound object where you have a name, and in your qualities you have your the array, you have this, and so this. Now this is the end of the lab assessment 6, but we also want to encode and decode. What does encoding and decoding mean? First of all, encoding is creating a JSON object, and decoding means using Java, converting that JSON object and getting values from it to show it in a Java application. So you do not see, let's say you just wanted name Ram Singh. How will you extract name Ram Singh from here? That is what it is. So we'll consider the string this for our instance. So this is lab assessment 6. So I'll have this, and then let's create a new class, maybe, right? Let's call it JSON2. Let's create this, and yes, so we should have this. Now we want to create, right? So we'll copy our things. I'll copy this, controls. Okay, we do not want to use arrays, so I'll just copy this, control C, go to here, control V. You should have it, right? Yes, so this is this, right? So we have our file, but we do not want this. This is the thing. So encoding, so if you were to write encoding and then this, so encoding is this, right? So println obj, correct. So if we execute this, it's the same as executing the previous one, right? So we just created a JSON object. Now this is encoding, right? This is encoding, and now we will decode. So decoding is taking the output, right, making a string value. Let's call it string, that's how you write string s, right? String encoded string, let's call it encoded string, is equal to this, right? So this is the encoded string. But do you know one thing? There is a problem with this string. There are double quotes, right, in the string, which will make this a string, then make this a string, then make this another string, this another string, and then this another string. That is why it's in purple. The strings are in purple, and then there is something. But we do not want that. We want everything to be a thing. So we'll put a backslash to escape every quote that we want to escape. So to include and quote into a string, we have to give a backslash in front of the quote. So basically what I'm saying is, for every this that you want to include, you have to replace it with this. Okay, so we'll go over here. So you want to include the quote in front of name, so we'll do this. We'll want to include this, so we'll do this, we'll do this, do this, we'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this, and then we'll do this, and there we have the string. Now it's all purple, which means it is a string. So we have got our encoded string, right, ready to be decoded. We also want to get JSON value as a package. So now you can go, I think so, this might not break it. So org.json.simple dot I think so, JSON value, right? Yes. So you need the JSON value thing over here. So how does it work? So why do you need JSON value? So JSON value has a function called parse. So it can parse and put it in an object. So it'll get an object normal, right? Object obj is equal to JSON value, right, dot parse encoded string, right? Okay, we have obj1. Let's go. Yes. So our obj1 is this. Now we want to make a JSON object. So JSON object, obj2 is equal to, we have to typecast the object thing. So JSON object obj. So we have typecasted. Now we have the thing. Now we have our string name. We want name. we want salary and we want age, right? So we'll do that. So string name is equal to, we'll string, we'll typecast whatever comes out as a string, right? What comes out is you write Json dot get and just write name, yes. This is giving me an error. Oh, why am I writing JSON object again? It's obj2 dot get name. Correct. Now string age would be long. You can typecast it long. obj2 dot get age, right? And string long dot get age. Long. What's the problem in this? String. Okay. Salary double salary is equal to double, and then you can just write obj2 dot get salary. Yes. So this is a decoding section, and we have done this. Now we'll just do system dot out dot print, and then it'll be name. So we'll just make it a little bit cooler. So his name is plus name plus slash n plus he is plus age plus is young plus he earns plus salary plus LPA. Salary to LPA. Okay, so this is our decoding. It should work properly and we should get something here. So that is the thing, and let's see how does this go. So we have done this. There is an error. Long cannot be cast to double. Wait, what? So we'll just get it to long. So yeah, I think that's about it. Yes, and there it is.
Now let's try and give a double value into the salary object and then try to parse it. I made a mistake. I was trying, there was a lot of errors because I didn't change the salary in the encoded string itself, and now I will change it and let's see how it goes.
And it should probably work really fine now. And you can see it works really fine. I've changed the name so that the error debugging was simpler, but this was the only thing that was different. And if we go past here and we just make it Y, is it capital S and then capital S, yes. Okay. So now if we try to run this and make it 4.5, now we'll have something which we wanted to see long ago, and you can see the thing comes. So this is decoding, that is encoding, and this is how you do it. Very, very simple programs.